Thank you again, Madam Chair and members. This is a bill that we passed out of this committee and out of the Senate last session, and am assured it will do better in the House this time. As you recall, certain fundamental religious documents have been an undeniable role in the history and tradition of our country. Until the 1971 Supreme Court decision Lemon versus Kurtzman, America regularly acknowledged the role that these fundamental religious documents and principles have in American heritage and law. One of the most recognized sets of foundational principles were the Ten Commandments, which for over 200 years were displayed in public buildings across the United States, including in schools, government buildings, and courthouses, including the U.S. Supreme Court building itself. For the last several decades, however, expression of that heritage has been restricted. The court's decision in Lemon v. Kurtzman, which created the Lemon Test, was the culmination of separationists' fight to eradicate all references to religion from the public square. Litigants like the American Humanist Association, American Atheists, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and the Satanic Temple used the Lemon Test to block as many displays of America's religious heritage as they could, including the Ten Commandments displays and veterans memorials. One of their largest upheavals came from the 1980 Stone v. Graham decision, in which the Supreme Court used the Lemon Test to strike down Kentucky's law requiring the Ten Commandments to be displayed in public schools. Prior to Stone v. Graham, many public schools displayed the Ten Commandments. After Stone v. Graham, public schools across the country removed their Ten Commandments displays. Now, however, the legal landscape has changed. In Kennedy versus Bremerton School District, the Supreme Court overturned Lemon, eliminating the Lemon Test and instead looking more appropriately to America's history and tradition for whether the government may recognize our religious heritage. Unfortunately, after over 50 years of Lemon's rule, many of the traditional recognitions of our religious heritage have been removed and are only now slowly returning. Many government officials still fear the ghost of Lemon and are afraid to display these historical documents after years and years of being told such displays are impermissible and un-American. Therefore, legislation is needed to ensure the return of these displays, like the Ten Commandments, which have an undeniable historical meaning in our national history and heritage. The solution: Senate Bill 10 would require Texas public elementary and secondary schools to display the Ten Commandments in each classroom. At present, Texas public schools have no such requirement. Senate Bill 10, as I said, is similar to the bill I filed last session, which was Senate Bill 1515, which passed out of the Education Committee and the full Senate, but it has one main difference. Senate Bill 10 clarifies that, and by the way, we thought it was kind of cute, SB 10 and Ten Commandments, but anyway. Aside from that, Senate Bill 10, better, yes. Senate Bill 10 clarifies, I should not have digressed, I'm sorry. Senate Bill 10 open the door. Senate Bill 10 clarifies that a public school is not required to purchase displays using district funds. In other words, it's not an unfunded mandate. Now, Louisiana has already passed legislation requiring the display of Ten Commandments in public schools, and at least 14 other states have introduced similar legislation. It is time for Texas to pass SB 10 to bring back the historical tradition of recognizing our national heritage and to help eliminate out-of-date legal thinking still living in 1970s Establishment Clause jurisprudence. SB 10 restores those liberties that were lost and reminds students all across Texas of the importance of a fundamental foundation of American and Texas law, the Ten Commandments. And Mr. Chairman, there are several invited witnesses here today that will provide wonderful testimony with regard to jurisprudence, with regard to our history, and to the moral fiber, really, upon which American law and culture was built. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.